All right. Welcome back to Eyes Open Media. Prophet John here. Hope you guys are doing well. Okay, so let's look at the what happened on Friday for the markets. Today is Saturday, so the markets are closed. Tomorrow's Sunday, the markets are closed as well until the Asian markets open at around the nighttime for you people that are living in America. And yeah, so and that usually happens around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, maybe around that time is when the Asian markets open up, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. time. We'll get the futures numbers and everything like that, oil numbers, gold and oil and the U.S. dollar numbers. Okay, so I am expecting a bounce this week after 7 days of seven usually a completion number as well, used as a completion number. So 7 days of downward action in the stock market, about $4.3 trillion gone from the market. So seven is usually a number of completion. So I'm gonna say that unless there's like really bad news that comes out over the weekend or on Monday morning, that the markets are going to bounce back, okay, next week, and that the markets go back, the Dow goes back at least 100-day moving average, which is sitting somewhere around that close to 26.9, 27,000 range. So we're right now we're at 25,409, right? So anyway, so a nice little jump back to about 27,000 would be interesting. That that would be where I would think that the market should be able to at least do a cat bounce to that area. And that could 3 days, 4 days to get there. It might take us maybe a whole week. Might take us Monday through Friday and a up and down swing upwards. Though we might go up one day, up down, but we're in an upward trajectory. So the upward motion is more bigger than the downward motion, and we touch around that 69,000 range. And then and if that happens and we see a bearish candle at that range, then I'm going to say that it is a five-wave pattern, and wave one was completed on Friday and the 7 day down, and then now we're going to go up and complete wave two pattern. And wave two is usually half of wave one, and then once we complete that, then for the violent downward wave three start next. So should be a fun week. I think there's going to be some bad news. There's bad news today. First victim in America has passed away from the virus. So bad news on that, and we got more of the virus spreading like crazy around the world. So we'll check out. I'll do a video on that later. I want to wait for the new numbers to come in. So that video will probably be up around 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. So I'm gonna wait to see if the new numbers come in, because the numbers they got last one significantly. So not like a massive dump, but it was way more than it was before. Because before we were doing like a 1,500, 1,100, and this one I think did 4,000. Okay, so but I'm waiting for the new numbers tonight, and we'll see how it plays out. Okay. And, Iran doubled this number last night, so it's crazy. And Italy, same thing, and South Korea just jumping out of they're just jumping. So I want to see what the numbers are tonight, and so I'll do the video on that tonight. So it's down 300 points, but you can see this big rally here. This was the Feds with people buying, and at the end there. So some people went long here, and for short-term long positions here at the close strong, because they saw a bullish candle at the end there on the Dow. And for you guys that are on Patreon, we talked about that bullish candle that was on that finished the trading day on the Dow. So people went long there, and of course with the Feds pumping money into it, and the Feds did say that they're going to do whatever they have to do to turn the markets around. And then we heard from Donald Trump Jr. saying that this week is going to be a good week for the Dow. So I think he said anybody, something like anybody getting in this week it should do well on the Dow. So I do expect a nice bounce on the Dow this week, and I expect the media bad news to be to calm down, I know that the virus is still going to be spreading and stuff like that, but the bad news is not going to hit until, in my opinion, we see the top of wave two. And when we see the top of wave two, and we see that bearish reversal candle, I think that's when we're going to see massive, massive, terrible news. And then down we go on wave three, because wave three is usually the violent wave. For you people that know about wave patterns and stock markets, okay, on the way up or on the way down, wave three of a five-wave pattern is always the biggest one, and it's the violent one. So if we're doing a wave pattern downwards, then wave three is going to be double or even triple what we did on wave one. Now, wave one, we lost $4.3 trillion. So if we double that, that's going to be 8.6 or even triple that, right? And then now we're looking at about like 12.9 trillion dollars, right? So yeah, I guess we'll see. Wave three is always double or triple wave one in a five-wave pattern. That's why it's the violent wave. So I guess we'll just wait and see how that plays out. Remember, wave three for Bitcoin took us to 20,000. Remember that violent move to 20,000 we made? That was wave three. Okay. And then when we pulled back and then went right, and then when we pulled back, pullback we had, right, from 20,000 back down to like 18,000 when we got slammed, and then we went back up to like 19,000, that was four and five. Those were usually quicker. Okay, and then that was it, and that was a five-way pattern, and then we quickly had a ABC correction on downwards, and then we basically stayed steady for a little bit for a couple weeks, and then Mt. Gox news started coming out that Mt. Gox is selling massive amount of bitcoins, and then we started to get smashed. Then we will go sideways for a little bit, and we get smashed again. Everybody's like, "What's going on?" And it was Mt. Gox selling the bitcoins like every 2 weeks. They would literally just sell thousands and thousands of bitcoins in the open markets. Okay, so wave three is the big one. And so enjoy wave two that's coming up, in my opinion, because I think this is a five-way pattern. Something tells me this is a five-way pattern. It's acting like a five-way pattern. And number one, the first one down was terrible, right? For many people. For me, it was like, okay. It doesn't feel like a crash though, but it does. My eyes are open, right? And yeah, this is not good, right? But this is what we've been waiting on, right? And so that's what it felt like. It's like, okay, this is okay. It's not, it doesn't really feel like a crash, but it's definitely a pre-crash, right? It's like a precursor to the crash, right? So it's a warm up. That's what it felt like. It felt like a warm up. So that's wave one. So wave two will be on the way back up. Maybe we come back halfway. And so, okay, and people get their confidence back. That's what it's supposed to do for wave two. And then it's supposed to slam you in on wave three. So people are going to get their confidence back. Oh, things are back to normal again. Oh, and markets are back. And then boom, you get that spinning top or that bearish reversal candle, and then wave three begins, and then you'll see the media know that wave three is coming, and they'll put out the worst of the worst news around that same time period to make sure it does slam down for wave three. So expect the worst of the worst when wave three begins. We might hear that 100 people in this area has the virus, or you know what I mean? Like we're gonna hear this terrible news, in my opinion. It's just gonna be terrible news after terrible news, just like we did for Wave One, right? Wave One came and we were hearing nothing but terrible news after terrible news after terrible news, you know. And so that's what they do. The media, for some strange reason, the media knows when to put the news out on stocks for some reason. Correlation with the media and stocks always go together. For it's been that way since I've been doing the stock market, and so they're all in it together. They know how to. Many of those people that watch the stock market are part of the media, and they know when to signal things. Okay, just like CEOs in a company, they know when to signal things to make their stocks jump, or when to make their stocks sell off. Right. and so they know exactly what to do too. They read the charts and they say, okay, we just got a buy signal. Time for me to put out some good news so we can capitalize on that buy signal. All right. So Nasdaq was actually in the green. S&P 500 was down only 24. Global Dow was only down 65. Gold was up big, $20, and oil actually rallied there to 50. Okay, so 45.26 oil. If oil continues to rally next week back to $50, then the markets are going to rally next week. Okay, so and that's what we're looking for. And while the markets are rallying, guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be buying the four stocks because they're going to be plummeting, back down a little bit. Okay, they're not going to go way back down to where they were, but they're going to be plummeting a little bit. Okay, so people who are in the four stocks made a ton of money this week, but a lot of us didn't sell because we're waiting for the actual crash, which hasn't started yet. The actual crash is going to be under 20,000, right? Once we break 20,000, it's literally breaking the system. Okay, so and that's when we're going to plunge like we've never plunged before, in my opinion. Okay, and that's because stop losses are going to be triggered. Historic margin calls are going to be triggered. People are going to owe millions of dollars in margin calls, and they're going to have to find a way to pay that off immediately. Okay, and they're going to be selling their gold, and they're going to be selling their silver, and they're going to be selling their cryptos. So if we break 20,000, I believe that we could see this massive crash in gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies because of the massive historic margin calls that are going to be taking place. Remember, wave two is gonna suck everybody in that everything is back to normal, and that's going to be the suckers. That's going to be the sucker rally. That's called the dead cat bounce, the sucker rally, the bull trap. That's wave two. Okay, so in a 5-wave pattern, wave two goes back up, it sucks everybody back in, and then everybody gets slammed by the violent wave three. All right, so we're gonna see if that actually plays out, because that would be crazy if that does play out that way. But the break in the system, is 20,000. When we break 20,000, we're breaking the system, in my opinion, because it's gonna trigger so many historic margin calls. We might have to. They might close the markets. I don't know how they're gonna do this. I hope they don't. I hope they let this thing reset itself like it's supposed to do. I hope they stay off the markets. Let the markets reset. Okay. I've been telling Donald Trump on Twitter, the markets want to crash. Let the markets reset. Okay. Because it's not going to take long for Donald Trump to gain control and to then get everything back together and get the economy back up. It's not going to take long. Literally within 30 to 60 days, we're going to be back to normal again. So he shouldn't worry about that. Let's let it crash, let it reset, let people, let bygones be bygones, and then start doing things the proper way. Stop using the debt. You know what I mean? Use something else in debt. To prop markets and stuff, and let the markets recover on their own in a specific way. And God said He's going to give Donald Trump instructions. Trade deals are going to be done as well. England, the UK trade deal, Japan trade deal, India trade deal, China phase 2 trade deal, and all these other trade deals that are going to be coming into place. Coronavirus will be over by May, in my opinion. I think once we go in right into May, the virus is over. Okay, so we don't that's not going to last long. But watch out for March. March is going to be something you've never seen before in the history of mankind. Okay, so March is going to be ridiculous. You've never seen what's going to happen in March. You've never seen it in your life. How about that? You thought February was bad. You thought January was bad. Then you thought February got even worse, didn't it? Wait until March. Wait until March. March could be the climax. And a lot of you guys have been waiting for that for years. Here we go. Don't be scared. Here we go. All right. You've been waiting for it. Here we go. Okay. Here's the climax. I think we're coming to that climax, especially if we break 20,000 down. Heads will roll. Peace out. God bless. And I'll see you guys later today because I'll be back with the coronavirus video update. Peace out. God bless. Eyes open. Bye.